background needs something. Something that looks a little bit bare. Can you guess what it is? It's this! If you look right through here, you can see all the way to China, which is actually not that far away. I'm not gonna leave that like that, don't you worry. Look at the mess! Invite you into my home and this is what you do. Okay. This is a rental apartment and I'm definitely not gonna get my bond back. But I still don't want to get in too much trouble when I eventually move out. I'm gonna add some like life and fun and silliness to my house. Upgrading these lame, boring, beige, dull, poo-poo. What are these? Light switch cover, plate cover switch. But as you can see, it's super easy to take off and on, so when I leave, I can just put them back. I'm gonna decorate 4 light switches in 4 different styles depending on where they are in my house. Sorry to all the tidy neat people in the world because I just can't. I just cannot. Instead of using this workspace, I'm just gonna work kind of on the go. I'm gonna start with this room, the studio. Different shape, just extend it in some areas to create just a fun, soft, rounded shape. Little kind of doodly, filigree in green. I think that could be cute. Or, one thing I could do is make it into like art frame. In the center, paint a little scene on it. Fields, just with some flowers and stuff around. Just something really simple, like a Ghibli kind of style. But I think that could be fun. Okay, my bathroom, which is basically just my shower. I have 2 ideas. One of them is like faking grid tiles. Just feels very feminine to me. Okay, those just look like fucked up teeth. Whatever, let's just move on to the next. Pomegranate. Yes, a little like pomegranate seed, heart, pomegranate seed, heart, seed. That'd be so cute and make it really delicate with like a cream or white background. I'm really excited about that idea. The kitchen. Okay. It's a bit of a squeeze in here, sorry, but welcome to my kitchen. So my bathroom light switch is going to be on one side of the doorway and then kitchen one's going to be on the other side. I'm going to keep it red. The kitchen is very kitschy. I have a lot of reds, greens, and like purples and yellows and just like a variety of colors. So I'm trying to think of a style that would just be really cute. I've also got a lot of florals. So, okay, I've got 2 ideas already. Okay, the first one, some kind of red flower. I mean, that's a little bit old lady for me. What about if I surrounded it with like 3D flowers? Like a little wreath. Okay, I like that. Or it could be really simple. Since I've got so many tiles in here, I could do like a wide grid, color some of them red, tiny little pattern thing. That's cute. By the way, oh my god, my favorite feature in the kitchen. Okay, I have a wall. I have like a little, most of it is like, this is a letter from my mum and my brother, from my great aunt. My friend who left Japan gave this monkey to me. This is my old dog. This. I used to live in Christchurch, New Zealand. In Christchurch, New Zealand, you can vote for the person. So here we have Joe Kane. Until Canterbury's funding is fair and equitable with the rest of New Zealand, blah, 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 blah. This is Tubby Hansen. Let's see what Tubby Hansen has to say. There is no such thing as schizophrenia. In 1989, the American woman and her NZ team bugged a man's house. They bugged the radio, jug, urn, and fan heater and started to nag him if these were turned off. It was too difficult to pull apart a good working jug and urn. If the radio was turned to another station, it would take 17 seconds exactly for them to retune it to the new station. The fan heater was stripped down and found to have 2 overheating diodes, one of which talked in a high-pitched voice. If he put his fingers around the diode, it would stop talking. He would turn on his tape recorder when he went out, and the police, Sunnyside's doctors, would not listen to the tapes. Something must be done about the thrush and chlamydia boom. I mean, he is a genius. I love him. Back to the floor. I am a fucking dunce, and I forgot to even design my most favoritist, most excited about one, the toilet. It's gonna be like a cottagecore overload, and I think it's gonna be really cute, and I have a really fun idea. I'm not even gonna draw it. I'm not even gonna draw it. You're gonna have to wait until later in the video to even fucking see it, but you won't have to wait long, don't worry. So now that we're done with the design phase, it's time to actually give it a try.
Guess what everyone, I'm in my rock girl era, which means I'm sick, so please enjoy perhaps the nasaliest scalp you'll ever hear. Today I'm gonna be experimenting on this poor hapless piece of plastic. First I just sanded everything down with an emery board because that's all I had, just to get a nice smooth base, because plastic is infamously difficult to paint on and to really adhere anything to. It's really slippery, so roughing up that base really helped. And then I cracked into my foam clay first. I really like this stuff. I used it for my bokoblin mask, which, spoiler alert, you'll see later. It's really soft and malleable, but it dries down into a foam. Foam clay is great for a lot of things, but not for this project. It's hard to get like a smooth, flat surface, and if you try to create texture and small details, it just kind of bounces back. You can see me trying to get like a nice smooth surface here, but it just kind of ended up looking like, you know that guy with the eyes in his hands from Pan's Labyrinth? I found this other stuff at Daiso that's just called unglazed design clay, and that's what I ended up using. It's kind of fibrous. The materials list says pumice, pulp, and synthetic paste agent. So that doesn't tell me anything. I have no idea what this is made of. I wanted to make the clay look like wood and also stones and other kind of building materials, hint hint, and it ended up working perfectly, even though I think just actual clay from like the ground would have been probably the best option. Maybe I'm biased because I like the ground, but it also dried down brittle, which was very important. I then painted on all of the different textures just to see what it would look like, and at the end I came out with this disgusting abomination. Doesn't it look like a wattle on like a cassowary or like a muscovy duck? It looks like the head of a muscovy duck. I also found the bendiness of the foam clay a little bit perturbing.
So I broke it. Sorry. This is the the twisted, fucked up experimental piece. Of course the paint stuck better to the side that I sanded down. I was hoping I could cut corners. PVA. Actually, it's not a glue. Okay, yep, it's dark outside, it's fine. I'll just be quiet, I guess.
Wow, it appears I forgot to mention what the hell I'm doing. And I know what you're thinking, no, this is not a Bigfoot sighting. I'm just testing out this random plasti-dip thing I had to see if it would be a good sealant for the clay. Unfortunately, it made the clay dissolve and melt.
Well, we did it. Oh, you probably didn't see any of that. But it happened, I can assure you. If I'm being honest, I kind of want to just start. I'm getting antsy. I'm going to start with the easiest one, which is the kitchen. Am I? Is that true? Let's just start painting one and we'll figure out the rest of it later. Whatever.
And so I very delicately retrieved my acrylic paints from the top shelf. Discovering my jester's hat and my bokoblin mask along the way. I'm becoming quite the hatter.
Like a charm. We're strapped in.
Yeah, listen, I don't really know what possessed me to put this on and what possessed me to keep this on for the rest of the evening. Just, enjoy.
Nobody cared about me till I put on the mask.
And by this point, I started to feel a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit daunted by this, as you can tell. So I took a quick break. Enjoy my, amateurish kalimba playing.
That's as far as I can go. Alright, first sanding.
Okay, maybe it was because I was using a nail file instead of an actual sanding tool, but this took me a very, very long time. I mixed up a nice cream tone using white, red, and yellow ochre. Don't mind the fact that I'm using my teeth like an animal trying to get into a walnut. Once the paint was that perfect shade of condensed milk cream color, I finally painted the first layer of my light cover, switch cover, light plate cover, wall plate cover, switch plate. And this footage is literally me watching paint dry. I'm just sitting there watching it dry. Why did I do that? Oh wait, never mind, I'm getting up. Yes, this is the point where I realized I could be sanding all the other light switch covers. And, oh my god. Jesus Christ. I don't know. That's right, my little game grumps, we're back to sanding. I have a lot of footage of me sanding, so I sped some of it up just because I think it's fun.
My main source of creativity was always drawing, and I know a lot of people get like anxious about being bad at art, and so that kind of prevents them from doing it, and I never had that because I've never been satisfied with my art, so it's never a problem of whether or not it'll be good because I know it'll be shit in my eyes. The baseline expectation for me is that I'm not going to be happy with it, so I don't feel this stress or pressure. I'm like, it's gonna be shit, and then I'm pleasantly surprised or not. But I really do find that with these different projects and with making YouTube videos, I do start to feel that anxiety and that pressure of like, man, I really hope this end product is good. If people watch this whole video and then it turns out shit in the end, like that's gonna be disappointing. And then I also feel some pressure for like getting clicks and stuff, which is cringe that I feel that way. That's the ego. I also do worry about how the YouTube video itself will come out. Also, I really struggle with motivation, especially in the last few years. I've noticed that I tend to follow a pattern of, and I'm using these terms non-medically, hyperfixation on something and then like an eventual, like, I still care about it, but it's not absorbing every facet of my being. Years ago, I like started listening to Iggy Pop and I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm obsessed with punk music. So I bought a guitar. I like the idea of playing guitar, but after those 2 months, I didn't really play anymore. What was the point of all that? I guess the point I'm making is that eventually the obsession fades, and I'm kind of nervous that my obsession with making YouTube videos will fade and then it'll become work and then it'll become a chore. But at the same time, like, I have had my Instagram for years. I spent 1 year making at least 1 post a week, and I've posted a lot on that thing over the years. So that's the problem, is that my anxiety about making art, being consistent, making something that has a nice outcome only really occurs when I like try to put expectations on myself for the end result. When I find myself getting anxious, I think that means that I've gotten too critical, and the goal is to continue to think about the process. I'm a really big believer in like the beautiful struggle. Being in the trenches of the making is the good part. Like that's for me. The outcome is whatever. Like the fruits of my labor are not for me. The labor is for me. What if? It's like, it doesn't matter. That's not for me. That's for you. This is for me. And I'm very thankful for it. You know, I can't believe I did all that spiel with the bokoblin hat on. What was I thinking? Honestly. Anyway, back to sanding.
Okay, I won't show you any more clips of me sanding. Here's me painting another coat of beige. You know what, let's just move on.
While I wait for that last coat of paint to dry, let's find a blank part and actually nail down exactly what it is I want to make. You can see what I'm doing. You can't see what I'm doing.
Setting up my camera so you can see what I'm doing but can't see the squalor I live in is a delicate balance, and I tend to topple often. I made a template in my notebook and drafted up some ideas for the little designs I wanted to put inside the squares. I was really feeling like a Swedish folk vibe.
I'm sorry you can hear the heater in the back. It's cold! It's cold. I got a little bit of work done today, which is nice because it's a work day. Tomorrow I'll continue my kitchen. I have a really clear vision for my bathroom one. Although I'm having doubts. What if I did something else? Anyway, I'm really excited about some of this actually. Okay.
Alright, time to sharpen my pencil and start ruling the lines for the kitschy gingham Swedish picnic kitchen tiles. I'm pretty sure I gave up measuring and just eyeballed it though. Then I painted over the lines, which I have no proof of doing. Just me realizing I forgot to hit record.
Serious? Ah!
After I got over that, I started doing a checkered pattern, but then I decided to go off-road and break up that pattern, and I feel like it's one of those things that might drive some people crazy, but I really like it. Got my pencil out again because I was so scared of making a mistake. I scrounged around for the tiniest brush I have and I started on the design. But in the end it all came out well, and I found it pretty relaxing since it took all of my focus. It was kind of like extreme sport, high risk, high reward doodling. I drew some stars, some flowers, some other kind of patterned things, and then I threw in a knife because, you know, kitchen.
Also because I'm evil.
I also just felt the urge to draw a fish on this, even though I hate fish and I never eat it. I don't know, the fish was calling to me.
Let's wash up. I'm changing one of my ideas. Instead of doing the little, not persimmon, what is the fruit? Pomegranate. This is why I wasn't doing voice recording before. I had 5 classes today. If you're wondering what I do for a job, I basically run game shows for kids. And for $400, what is the past tense of found? I'm changing my design. I'm just gonna improvise. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Might look like shit, but I want to, so I will, and I'm going to. What do you want from me?
In the end, after all that designing, I didn't actually have a plan going into this. Oh, here I am acting like a horrible creature again. But I did have like a vague aesthetic sense of what I wanted, so I picked out my colours first. But yeah, I changed my design for the shower room for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I couldn't be fucked doing tiny complicated pomegranate seeds, and frankly, I wasn't sure that I actually could draw tiny complicated pomegranate seeds particularly well. It felt too similar to the kitchen, like repetitive pattern. And I started thinking about like a gradient, something that looked oceanic, or more like, it looked kind of like Botticelli's Venus. I don't know, that just feels very showery to me. I've got a big clam in there, so you know. And then of course that had to dry, so I started working on my little toilet house. I penciled in what I wanted to sculpt just to get the proportions right. I started working on the stone foundations first, making little bricks and like sticking them together just onto the cover itself. And then I used the pencil to like dig texture into the rocks and also create a kind of lacy, holy mess for the moss and the overgrowth, which actually turned out better than I expected. Well, it's kind of ugly, but it works. You can understand what it is. Then I made the flower box, which I always add to my Minecraft builds. Thank you, Gemini Tay. Sometimes you might feel the need to buy specialty tools for a project, but I'm a firm believer that you can work with whatever you have nearby. I found this wrapper to a pen refill had a really nice sharp edge that was good for making like a wood-like texture. I can never decide between whether my dream house would be like a log cabin, or like a cob-style cottage, or like a hole in the ground. There's a lot of good options on the market, but I think this miniature cottage definitely comes close. For the studio piece, I based my sketch off this like Wind Rises postcard that I have. I'm really not confident in my landscape painting ability, so I always get stressed out by projects like this. But it's something I want to get better at, so good practice. And then I filled it in with these cool toned greens and blues. I wanted to try something new, and I immediately regretted doing that. I should have known. I'm in the desaturated yellow club. That's the only green I believe in. While that dried, I rolled out some clay to use for the picture frame. I just lined it up with my plastic lab rat and used whatever I had on hand to cut it, which was very inefficient. I did wish I at least had something similar to the proper tool, but worry not, I've stolen a nice thin ruler from work, which would do very nicely next time.
It's fine. I don't like cool tones. I don't know why I always do this. I know what I like aesthetically, but I continue to choose, fuck, I'm really tired, but I continue to make artistic choices that I actually don't like as much as I would like other things, just for the sake of variety, I guess. But it's just for me. It's just my house. I can paint warm tones if I want to. Sorry, I forgot to film. Oops.
That was cool. Anyway, turning this meadow from cool tones to warm tones basically required repainting everything, but just mixing lots of yellow into every colour this time. Lately I've been really inspired by the art on the Pikmin Bloom loading screens. Please add me on Pikmin Bloom. I'm using my hand as a palette here because the star lid got really messy, and it's just easier to reach and mix colour variants on there, so don't be afraid to use your hand. I don't think acrylic paint can kill you. I really hope acrylic paint can't kill you. But yeah, so I felt like I needed something in the foreground because there's like the cloud in the background. So I tried painting cabbages a la Pissarro, and then I started thinking about artichokes too much. And at no point did I consider looking up a reference image for cabbages or how to paint them. And Pissarro, I am not. I mean, I really like how the cloud turned out though. Anyway, with that finished, all 4 of these are now fully painted. Okay, I forgot to film the part where I glued the clay securely to my cottage lights with cover lights, and then I did some underpainting and overpainting. It came out really well, just check it out.
Mostly finished except for the toilette one. Let's end this little.
Since my initial testing with spray sealant didn't work out, I found this stuff on Amazon Japan, and it said it was glossy and waterproof, which is exactly what I wanted, so I tried it out, and they worked really, really well. But just before I covered my cottage, I started thinking, which is never good news for me.
One second. Real quick. What if this looks bad? Fuck, I didn't think about that. I just feel like this would look better with window panes. I guess that's why they call it window pane. Oh, thank God I did that. Look at these things that I made. Ah! I love... That was so loud. Look at how cute it is. It's a little cottage. I don't think I filmed any of the process of making this. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, I'm gonna add another couple of layers of sealant to this. I'm gonna install them, and I'll show you how they look in the final reveal. And that's a wrap. When I tell you, I'm going to be doing this to every house I live in for the rest of my life. Where do I start? Okay. I think it looks so cute. I'm not an expert on cool girl cool, but I think this is cool girl cool. The fact that I broke the checkered pattern, I feel like gives it a bit of tension, as we'd say in art school. And then right next to it is this one for my shower room. This is gonna sound stupid. You're gonna make fun of me for this. I think this is a sexy light cover switch. I mean, look, it matches also, by the way, perfectly. Gorgeous. This one, listen, don't ask me what that is a plant, vegetable of. I don't want to talk about it. I think the cloud is good. The cloud is good. I think from afar it's good. It gives you that Ghibli vibe. I rushed it. You know, you can still see some pencil marks. I could have done a gradient on the sky. Also, let me grab, I made the classic fatal error. I forgot that clay shrinks when it dries. So I made this frame, but it's just too small and it covers up part of the painting. So maybe someday I'll go back and make a new one that's bigger. But finally, my favorite. Look at how Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I know what you're thinking. It looks like a Thomas Kincaid painting. It looks like something you'd find in your grandma's dusty garden. It looks like a mini golf decoration. It looks like something I would build in Minecraft. That's why I love it. And it's going in my toilet, inside my toilet bowl. Okay, the like plants and the moss does kind of look like vomit, but I mean, it is going in the toilet. So it's the kind of thing that I would always think about doing and never actually do, so I'm really glad that I made this video to force myself to do it. You know all that shit I was saying about the fruits of the labor not being the reward, it's the labor that's the reward? Nah, man. Hit the comments below and tell me a dark family secret that no one else is allowed to know. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was fun. I hope you try this. Try it. Listen to me. I know your secret now. Fucking try it.